Hello, welcome. This is my very first YouTube video on my very own YouTube channel. So thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to its very big grand debut. Hooray! And to join us for this grand celebration is Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Pinocchio, Goofy, and Pluto, and they've brought all these wonderful balloons. And of course, most of us are still in some sort of lockdown, quarantine, stay-at-home orders, so they're joining me distantly. And I'm so happy that everybody's here, everybody's safe, everybody's well. And to get started, I know a lot of you are thinking, there's something odd coming out of her throat, and that's true. This is my tracheostomy tube. And this goes down into my airways and it connects via this tubing, and this tubing connects to a ventilator. Let me show you. That is the ventilator that helps me breathe. It keeps me alive, it keeps me well, and I'm very grateful to it. I can breathe without this ventilator for a little bit. I can show you. It's hard to talk and it's kind of hard to breathe, so I don't go off of the ventilator that much. It's very hard to be comfortable. So I'm very grateful to the ventilator, but the ventilator weighs about 12 pounds, so it's very heavy and very cumbersome to move around with. So if I do have to get up and go to the bathroom, I do disconnect and I can breathe for short periods of time without the ventilator, which I'm very grateful for. And also very grateful that I don't have to take the ventilator and all this tubing and everything into the bathroom, because bathrooms are not always the cleanest things to take medical equipment into, but if you have to, you have to. Which brings me to a really funny story. Several months ago, I was at my doctor's office, and it was a very cramped restroom, and I use a wheelchair to move around with, and I had my ventilator on my lap. That's how I usually travel, with it just on my lap. And then trying to go to the bathroom, you have to get up, move the ventilator, and I never put it on the ground because that's disgusting. So I try to just quickly move it from my lap onto my wheelchair, and then I disconnect from the tubing. But unfortunately, when I was trying to do this and it was very cramped and very crowded, the tubing, before I had a chance to sit down on the toilet, the tubing went plop right into a very dirty public toilet. So I didn't know what to do, because this is only my only tubing set that I have, especially when I'm away from home. When I'm here, I do have extra things. So I quickly got it out of the water. I shook it out as hard as I could and as fast as I could. But of course, I had to go to the bathroom. So I just placed it on my wheelchair. I went to the bathroom and got out of the stall and went to a very dirty faucet and took it and was running water through it and putting the antibacterial hand soap on it and scrubbing it as hard as I could and trying to get the soap off, and it was a nightmare. And I was shaking it and shaking it and shaking it. And finally, when I did all I could and I really needed to breathe again, I put it back on, because I figured, well, if I don't connect it, I'll probably breathe or probably die because I can't breathe. Or if I do connect it and I get an infection, well, at least I'm breathing. So I did that, and it ended up to be okay, because I never got an infection, which was a very wonderful praise to God that He helped me through that, but it was so disgusting. So ever since then, I'm very, very careful whenever I disconnect from my ventilator. I don't let go of the tubing. I just disconnect and I put it out in front of me and try to get onto the toilet and do my job and get off and then put it back on. And I know it's very complicated and very odd, but that's how I live my life. It's very odd. So that's just my little funny story. So if you're in a public restroom, don't bring your ventilator into the bathroom with you. It's gross. And if something bad does happen, just do what you can to clean it and just hope for the best, and usually nothing bad will happen. So thank you so much for tuning in for my very first YouTube video. I hope you give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like it, just don't come back. No, I'm just kidding. Come back. We like you even if you don't like me. And thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful, joyous day, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.